Hi, I'm Craig Butler, professional football manager and father to top international players. Football coach to Jamaica's youngest and most talented players. Jamaica, why haven't we started the Premier League when the rest of the world has started already? You want people starved to death? Consistency is key to development. Anyone who says otherwise is utter madness. They're mad people. We have a Football Unfiltered exclusive with Leon Bailey, Raheem Sterling, and Jadon Sancho simultaneously. You heard it here first, folks. We dissect and present football in a way that you've never seen before. Trust me on that. Craig Butler's Football Unfiltered. Don't miss it.
Ready? Good. All right. Hey guys, sorry for the long wait, but we see a lot of people here waiting. You guys can imagine it's a busy time for you, Craig, isn't it?
Yeah, no sleep.
No sleep at all?
No sleep at all. Europe is 6 hours ahead, so their 9 o'clock is my 3 o'clock in the morning.
So I'm sure I'm sure you all have been hearing the rumors, but we're going to address that later in the show with a special guest. You guys have seen him before. Mike Appiason. He'll be joining us to talk a bit of transfer news. As you guys know, he's the manager or agent for Miguel Antonio. What are some of his other big names that he has? I know
Harry Kane is also part of that.
Part of the USM.
Reece James from England. So yeah, lots of them. So lots also young talents as well that's coming up in England. So good opportunities there. It's been very exciting, you know.
Yeah. So we were trying to okay. So we see your comments, so we're going to address some of them in a bit. But we have a few topics we're going to go over first. But first, I want to ask you, Craig, how your week was and how Phoenix was this week.
Oh my God. This week was hell.
Just busy?
Yeah, real busy. We went back to hardcore training.
Yeah.
You know, that kind of tricked them up a little bit. I have a guy called CP Chris Paul.
Really?
Yeah, really talented.
Like the basketball?
Trainer, yeah. And he does a lot of physical training, so we've been tricking them, you know, having them go in the mornings, train, enjoy the training, good technical session, and I think it's over. Then comes CP for another hour of hard physical, or one morning I made them run about 3 miles and then push the Jeep.
Really?
Push the Jeep uphill, So they were burning, really burning.
No, I should probably join with them one day to help somebody.
Listen, we're not ready for you to go. And we need you for the show.
All right. By the way, Richard Stewart reminds us we hit 1,000 subscribers.
Yeah.
So thank you guys.
Thanks, guys. Let's build it.
Thank you guys. We see your comments. We're gonna get to like we mentioned. Mike Appiason is going to be joining us, who's a world-class agent as well. So we're going to be talking a bit of transfer news there. So stick around. We'll talk about it. I mean, you're not going to get it any more close to the source than here, right? So a couple of things we're going to go over first. Obviously, we're going to talk about the World Cup. So we're going to get there, and especially McGee played. But before we get there was some news out of Serbia. So I'll add it here. So unfortunately, some sad news, but not really disappointing news. Norman Campbell, who you all know, he played for Harborview, and now he's playing for a team in Serbia. He was actually subjected to some racist remarks during their match, I think earlier this week. Unfortunately, it's really hard to say, but while he was playing, he was subjected to some monkey noises, which is what's sometimes that happens over there in those areas. and he actually walked off the pitch. So I wanted to ask or get Craig's thoughts on what he would say to Norman at this time. What advice would you give him to, not I know it's the club, as you can see on the screen, the club apologized. They released a public apology, but still, it's a tough situation for Norman.
Listen, you have people who are really ill and racist, yeah, and they're jerks. But you also have people who use racism to intimidate a player or to get a player off his game or to get rid of the player. It's a thin line.
Yeah.
We're saying as a world, we're not going to tolerate it.
Yeah.
But it still exists. And I remember a story, I've told it over and over again to the players, in preparing them, because that's part of it. You have to prepare them for the racism that's going to come. And Leon, we remember we were in Austria, and he had just taken the head of former top Austrian player, his son. He took his position, Leon, as a striker. The guy came and he dropped a big box of bananas at Leon's feet.
Seriously.
Before a game. Now, the initial response would be, oh, for Sonny I talk about like that,
Yeah.
Rushing. I thought about it, and Leon looked at me and I looked at him. And this is what that goes into someone's character. And this is how you build that strength of character. I looked at Leon and I went, and he picked up a banana, one banana, started peeling it, ate it, put the skin in the box, picked up another, turned to his teammates and said, don't you know potassium is in the banana and it's good for us before a game? Let's eat them. Put the box skins back in here. We all ate them. He put the skins back in the box, took the box, put it gently at the feet of the man and asked him, can you bring some more tomorrow? We never saw that man again. Had Leon or I reacted and said, oh, I'm here, man, who you think you're dealing with?
Yeah.
We call him monkey and attack him, then he would have gotten his desired result, which is to get us out of the game or get us out of the club or get us to be seen in a bad light.
Yeah, it's always the response that gets the...
It's the response. And I feel it. I really feel it for him, And at the same time, it's at a high level, and the clubs have been taking the stance that they walk off the pitches.
Yeah.
They walked off when they said Junior Fleming said the remark. Yeah, so yes, the walking off can work, but at the same time, don't let them get to you. Yeah. They're trying to do that because they cannot beat you on the pitch, so they have to find another way to get in your head.
Yeah.
When Leon played at Genk, the same thing happened. It happened and someone actually took a whole thing of beer and threw on him right after the game and told him, why don't you make your girlfriend play for you, monkey? Go back to Jamaica. So I dealt with it at the club level and got rid of that guy.
Yeah.
He could never come back to the stadium again.
Yeah.
And Dimitri Dekani was very supportive and everything. But the fact of it is had he not thrown the bear, I don't understand, Leon, just ignore it, move on.
Yeah. Kill
them with goals.
Yeah.
Answer them with goals. Answer them with your performance. And that will hurt more than anything else.
Yeah. It's sad because obviously in Jamaica, you don't experience racism here. And even like for myself, I mean, I can see, and it's a reverse situation for him where obviously he's going to a predominantly white country, where when I came here, obviously in the beginning, I'm thinking, do I stick out, all this stuff.
Yeah.
But after about 3 months or so, it's like, yes, you get the comments, but nothing derogatory. Just hey, come here and things like that.
I don't think racism really exists in Jamaica.
No, it doesn't.
It doesn't.
Like,
Maybe classism, but not racism.
Like I've been, and it's not. I'm not even saying that I've been, just in the rich areas. I've been in Trenchtown and Waterhouse and been in Maypen and Effordville.
You've been everywhere.
Tivoli. I've walked when I used to cover Premier League. I walked through downtown the market to go to Tivoli. You know what I mean? For Sunday afternoon games, and I never experienced, other than the remarks, hey, white man, come buy this thing or something. They're never derogatory, and so I can see. Norman's not used to that, and I'm sure it's a shock to his system.
Yeah.
But I know that he's a strong player, and I know he will, like you said, respond on the pitch.
Yeah.
And prove
I'd said about the pitch.
Yeah.
Stay strong, youth. We're there with you. Don't worry.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So Norman, hope you watch this.
Here's Devon here in the background.
Yeah. So we're gonna add in Mr. Porter, get his thoughts, and then we're gonna talk a bit about the Gold Cup. So, Mr. Porter, can you hear us?
Yes, I'm hearing you guys, but there's like a feedback. I don't know where it's coming from.
Are we are echoing?
Yeah, it's like an echo or a reverb. You know what it's a reverb is?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I'm Devon. What you do?
I'm Craig.
I'm there, man.
I'm good, man. I'm good.
Hey, Devon, can you hear us? Is it any better?
I can hear you now, but it's just there's like a reverb when you speak in the mic. But I can hear you clearly. I can hear everything.
Okay. Is that your new mic?
No, this is the new mic stuck in custom still, but I have to go pick it up.
It's a new mic you have?
No. I have a new mic coming. So everybody who said they had audio issues, it's going to get better hopefully next week. I just need a custom.
Oh, okay.
But yeah, well, at least we hope it's easy to at least talk a bit or converse with us. It's not going to be bothered. Okay. Yeah, I'm just trying to see why, but we'll try to get that fixed. So, but I wanted to ask you. I don't know if you heard about the Norman Campbell situation and what you would say to that.
Yes, I heard about it. This is what goes on in Europe. It's sometimes I think it's strategies that they use to get players off their game if they think a player is a threat. But I don't condole. I'm against it totally. It happens here in Canada, but not at that extreme.
Yeah.
And I mean, I think for a young man, because he's never experienced anything like that.
But this
I don't know. Yeah, go ahead, Craig.
Yeah, this is a problem. When you're developing players, you can't just develop them on the pitch. You have to develop them off the pitch to prepare them for what's coming.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And I was listening to an interview by our great John Barnes, and he's saying that in football, the problem is not in football. The racism problem is not in football. It's a mindset. It's from society. It's how you grow up. You grow up hating other people, and I mean because of their skin color, and it is totally wrong. And you can't. I mean, if you cut anybody, we bleed red. It doesn't matter. Nobody bleeds yellow or orange. We all bleed red, and I mean it's full time now that the hierarchy of football, say FIFA, clamp down on these people who are doing all that injustice to players. And if it means that you're going to play a whole season without fans in the stadium, well, so let it be. You have to take a stance.
Yeah.
Yes.
But at the same time, though, we recognize we live in a world that is filled of these people. We live in a world that is filled with pedophiles. We live in a world that is filled with rapists, drug dealers, yeah? But it doesn't mean that we don't continue to live. It doesn't mean that we don't continue to be who we are.
Yeah.
It doesn't mean that we allow them to get to us. And that's the challenge I'm saying. Don't let them get to you. And I'm going to hell.
I tell you something, Craig. I tell you something. When I first came to Canada from the United States, because I left Jamaica and I was in the States for a little bit. It was about 2000 when I first came here. I played with a Scottish team in the Canadian Soccer League. And I was one of two black players, a Trinidadian guy and myself. And I remember I was playing in the number 10 role. And
oh man, big number 10.
Yeah, so I was playing, it was a Celtic team. I was playing for the Celtic team. And my own teammate, I do a step over and beat a player. And he looked at me and says, why don't you pass the ball and stop that monkey business? And I looked at the captain and I was going to walk off the field. And the captain looked at me and says, listen, I'll handle it. Don't worry about it. The next ball came. I do the same thing and kick it in the back of the net and says, why don't you go take out the ball that monkey kick?
You know, it's funny. It's funny. What you just said reminded me of Kevon Atkinson. I can actually find it on Facebook, what we did when it happened. And more importantly, how his Austrian teammates reacted. They were playing a game for Anif in U17. And Sharky is a beast. He's fast, he's strong, he's powerful, he's a machine, goal scorer. And he must have scored one goal. And the goalkeeper shouted out, obviously in German, break the nigger's foot. Yeah? And Sharky just smiled. Because you know he has a very calm personality. He just smiled. The goalkeeper, and I started saying to everybody, watch this. He's a centre forward. He backed right off to the goalkeeper was kicking out the ball, yeah? So he backed right off to the centre half position. Yeah. The ball came, he controlled the ball, he dribbled the whole pitch. Scored, beat the keeper, scored, and I looked at him and said, oh, you like your monkey now? You know?
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
Well, you like your nigga now. So the reality of it is that these things are going to happen. That's the way to answer it. But there are also good people everywhere who will defend that. I mean, one of the things that happened when he said that was one of the players on our pitch, on our team at the time, he was ready to get a red card when he heard what he said to Sharky. And this was as blonde as you can imagine, with blue eyes, Austrian player. Yeah. And he was ready to get the red card. He was going to go fight. And Sharky's like, no, easy. And so it's no problem. Let's try and get Mike in. Mike, can you join us, please?
Yeah. We're gonna. I know everybody's talking about the transfer in the news or transfer news. So or in the comments. So we're going to
guys that don't have corona have sniffles. Hi, Mike. Can you come on now? Yeah.
Right. So we're going to get Mike in and talk a bit of transfer news. Let's see some people. Ataru says Jamaicans born in Jamaica need to study Windrush in the history of their people who've been dealing with this for decades in the UK.
Yeah, it's been difficult, very difficult.
Yeah. So we're going to. Should we go over the highlights first of Jamaica, or wait till Mike comes on and then we'll do maybe?
We can do some of it now because Mike, we're not going to wait. When Mike come.
Okay, so as you guys know, Jamaica played against Costa Rica and lost 1-0. So we're going to put the highlights here, and I guess Craig, you can start. Just let us know your thoughts on the match. And then
is Jamaica playing a little more true to the genetics and the form. The ball is not dilly-dallying around the back. Great job in the midfield, getting the balls forward. Youth and maturity affected Tyreek a little bit, but he's showing his quality nonetheless. So opportunities were there. We need to finish them though. We need to finish them. Lots of good opportunities. I like Andre Gray a lot.
Yeah.
I like him a lot. I think he's a good addition to the squad.
And remember, this squad was very different compared to the first. I mean, even Andre Blake wasn't in goal. So
yeah.
It was very.
I'm a little worried about Taxi.
Yeah.
But he should have passed the ball. He tried to go for goal himself a couple of times, but he was excellent, I think, in how he worked. Unfortunate there for Gray again. For a while now. And this is what I'm talking about, a good football education.
Okay, yeah.
The damage it cannot be. Lost the ball. Look at him trotting back. You see?
Yeah, his recovery was not good. He needs to.
Poor. So
poor,
he should
yeah.
run back, pressure the guy right away, but he didn't. But this is something that happens to players, eh? I remember, playing against I think it was Excelsior in my years of Manicom. Right? Hold on, I can show you something. Superman.
Okay.
You want to
Well, Mr. Porter, then do you want to give your thoughts on the match?
Yes. I think after Terry made that mistake.
Yeah, let me.
Yes.
See, I was a top man one time,
Yes.
Got race wide open and they feature me on the second picture in.
Yes.
Where?
That's when you're in Jamaica College.
Yeah, that's when I was at JC.
JC, yeah.
But so the thing is, why I said that is sometimes you're playing, especially when you're playing in the wingback positions or the midfield, there's a little voice that says to you, look, track the man, try and get it back. And then there's another voice, the little devil on the other side. You know, the angel and the devil? The devil on the other side said, no, man.
Yeah.
No, man, he's not going to get you. Somebody will take the ball from him. And that is always when you mess up.
You mess up, yes.
Yeah. On that note, let's bring in Mike now.
Yeah, so we're going to bring in Mike.
Late in England,
Yeah.
Yes. Hi, Mike.
Hey, Mike, can you hear us?
Yes, I can hear you well. Can you hear me? Can you see me well?
Yeah, I can see you.
Hi,
Thanks
Mike.
for joining. I know it's, you said it was 12 a.m. over there, midnight?
Yeah, it's 12:45 a.m. But I've just come back from a pre-season game. So I'm still awake. I still have energy. So it's a good timing.
Still pumped.
Yeah, that's great. Yeah, thank you again. And for people who, because last time you were on, I don't think we were this famous yet. So, or at least the show wasn't as popular. But do you want to just quickly, just for like levels, about 100 people now watching, just give a quick, summary of who you are and some of the players you represent?
Yeah, thanks, Brandon. So yeah, I'm Mike. I'm a senior agent at Unique Sports Management. We're probably the second biggest agency in Europe. I represent a host of athletes: Mikel Antonio, Reece James at Chelsea, Cheku Kouyaté at Crystal Palace, Jamal Lascelles at Newcastle, captain. So those are some of the Premier League boys and a host of young athletes as well. I've recently teamed up with Craig, helping Craig with the boys in Phoenix, and also speaking about other sporting business plans that we want to try and achieve in the future. So that's just a brief background to myself, Brandon. And yeah, you guys are doing an amazing job. I'm seeing that the show is getting bigger and bigger week by week. Always interesting topics. So yeah, I'm glad to be a part.
We just hit 1,000 subscribers, so appreciate everybody.
Wow.
It's still early days, but we're getting there for sure.
And this is Devon as well. Devon is one of the biggest scouts in Jamaica's history. Works with getting in a lot of the English and overseas players into the national team, and he gets no credit for it, but hey, he keeps going.
Devon, nice to meet you. Nice to meet you.
Same here, Mike. Same here. Nice meeting you.
All right. So Craig, how should we get started with this conversation about or an update, the general update, or
let's do a general update with Phoenix first, because that's what we started.
Yeah.
Well, this year, I did pushing in, no? You gone?
Yeah, I got it.
Yeah. Unfortunately, Dip have two fathers, so I have to share. See you later, Dip. Have a good weekend. Yeah, so they this week was great, actually. Put in a lot of hard training, but also a lot was accomplished. Um, I met with Giles Williams. He's the head of Brookhouse College, which is a top young academy, private academy in England. And we're looking now to move. We're going to have 4 of our players going there and playing against training with Premier League teams in the area. It's in the area near Leicester and about an hour away from Aston Villa. And so it gives us the opportunity for the boys to actually go to school in England and also be able to train and play there, you know. And so it's really great for us. I'm looking forward to the partnership with them. And they're very excited as well. And we can only grow, get bigger.
Yeah.
Mona High School, who's also partnering with us with Phoenix as well already, is now part of the triumvirate, you know, and we have USM also on board. So the key is to develop the players in Phoenix, educate them in Mona, move them to Europe, get them their final finishing touches at those schools, the boarding schools in England. And then at that point, they'll be ready to shoot out into the world of professional football, pretty refined and comfortable.
That's really exciting news. So Mike had a hand in assisting with this, or the USM? Was this?
Yeah, Mike always has a hand in assisting with it. Mike is a part of the team and he's a top guy, so I can always depend on him to come through for us.
You know? So, Mike, what does this mean, in your opinion, this type of partnership, or what does this mean for the future of Phoenix and I guess future footballers?
Firstly, I think it's just it's amazing, the plan in place. I think the forward thinking of Craig and his team to help Phoenix, and I think it's a great prototype for other academies within Jamaica to follow this mold. And I think firstly, I think it's fantastic what he's doing. My role in it, Craig has had, and we both had a couple of Zoom meetings with some top people within England. I know Manchester City is one of them, and Manchester City are really, really keen in inviting the Phoenix Academy over. They want to do a tour of the stadium. They want to host games against Manchester City, against Manchester United, against Blackburn. And I think all of these experiences will be fantastic for the boys. Of course, the idea is for them to showcase their skills to the extent that these clubs now want to scout them and bring them into their clubs. But even if that's not the case, the experience for these boys, you know, to be playing against that level of opposition and to be exposed to that level of talent, I think is brilliant. So I'm really looking forward to it. Like I said last time, Brandon, I've been there to Jamaica. I've seen the training sessions. I've seen the games personally, and I'm a little bit emotionally attached to the plight of what Phoenix are trying to do. So hopefully we'll get there. It's challenging. It's really, really challenging because of what we're going through in the world. I've got to be honest. Europe is a mess. You know, it's so difficult to operate. So it's challenging, but we're going to work together to try and come to a solution.
Yeah. So I don't know if you heard, but Craig had the boys pushing some Jeeps this week. So I don't know. I hope.
You heard what they did with them this week?
The what this week?
They one of them missed training, right? Dylan, as usual. Dylan missed training and pudding.
Oh man.
So I said, okay, you guys. So the next morning, I had a normal training session planned out and everything. And they're already on the pitch. I say, okay, guys, run to Manor Park and come back, which is like a 6-mile trek, yeah? Wow. So they had to run to Manor Park and come back. On the way back, I drove and met them in the Jeep, put the Jeep in neutral. I said, okay, push it. So they have to push the Jeep all the way back to training. And then by the time they got there was CP, who's like this beast of a personal trainer. He worked with the NFL guys and everything before. So he was down here and he worked on them. So this week has been really hardcore training.
That's child abuse, Craig. That's child abuse. That should be a league.
Nah. It's not. It's not. When Xander was finished pushing it, Xander is one of our players. His mom said, "Where are you coming from?" He says, "Oh, we're just pushing a Jeep," with a big grin on his face. He wasn't even tired, you know. And that's we have to have the edge, you know, and that gives us the edge. And when I say this was the elites, it wasn't the little kids, it was like the 16, 17, 18-year-olds.
Yeah.
You know, so they're getting ready.
Those are things that are going to stick with them forever.
For life. They always talk about it.
Yeah.
And you know what was even more funny is the very next day we did it again.
Oh yeah.
And we played Dunby Holding, which is one of the Premier League teams here. And you would imagine these are professional teams.
Yeah.
And the game ended 1-1, I think, or 2-1 or something. Very close game. And we performed exceptionally well. And this has 13 and 14-year-olds playing against top players.
Yeah.
We beat Tivoli the week before.
Yeah.
You know that, Devon?
Yeah.
Yeah.
We beat Tivoli Premier League the week before 1-0.
Wow. That's
You
good.
know, so for me, I am sure that let's put it in perspective. All these teams that are playing in Jamaica would represent the Premier League teams, would represent the players that we have eligible to become professional footballers in Europe. Yes, so if somebody comes to scout, they'll be looking at the Premier League players, buy one, take him to wherever.
Yeah.
But you have 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18-year-olds in the elite of Phoenix playing against these guys and either beating them or coming really close.
Yeah.
So can you imagine what's going to happen in 5 years?
Yeah. Craig, have you been, just a quick question, Craig, have you been able to, how difficult has it been since I've been there in December up until this point? Has it been difficult doing the sessions, arranging games? Have you seen an increase or a decrease in intensity? How hard has it been?
The intensity in our game has been much, much more increased. We've started to focus more because we've evolved. We've gone from technical to tactical to quadrant pressing to release valve on the other side. And now the guys are really prepared. I think anything that they put in front of them in their age group, they're going to kill them. That's one. But in terms of the country, yes, it's been rough, but it has been easing up. You know, where the curfews we have more time on the road. I think it's like 11 o'clock during the week, the curfews are. Football has returned and sports have returned. Track and field has returned. The Premier League has returned and everybody else has started training. The fact that we didn't stop training has made us like superhuman compared to everybody else.
Yeah, 10 steps ahead.
10 steps ahead. So even Tyreek was down here and he was training with us and we were focusing on him about playing the ball forward more rather than turning it back and trying to be Brazilians, you know. Kick the ball long, but get the ball with urgency, split the lines and get it to the wingers and the strikers. And he's been doing that. And if you look at the game that he played recently, he may have had one or two mistakes, but the effort at going forward, the forward passing, the more direct focus that he has is going to really go a far way in his debut as a professional in this first year of his professional football. You know?
Interesting. That's good. It's good.
Yeah, no, it's you know, from firsthand experience, I've been here pretty much most of the COVID time, and Phoenix has just been like obviously following all the protocols, but they've been just nonstop trying to stay in shape, make sure even at home they remember you had to give them regimens at home.
So it's evolved where everybody is back together now, which is good, and we maintain the protocols, respect what's going on. But the Manning Cup is about to start, which is a high school football as well.
Yeah, the Premier League, I know they have to do COVID tests still before every match, and I heard it's a huge expense, but they're doing it. So it's glad to see.
We're trying to get everybody vaccinated who's over the age of 17, 18. You know?
Yeah. No,
here's the big news. Here's the big news. And this is about vision, right? You guys know me and Devon, we're old. We have 20 more years if we're lucky. You know, we're on the departure lounge.
Yeah.
So what I've done is we've made an arrangement. Mike, you're gonna play a big part in this, whether you like it or not. You know I am. Travis, who is retired now he's not gonna go and play professional football anymore. He's heading to Brookhouse, and he's gonna go on a practicum there in coaching, and we're gonna get him his badges in England with the FA. Gonna let him go on the courses when they offer them, and let him do the badges there. And this is to ensure that the cycle continues, but at an even higher level. That if you do the math right now, right, Whisper is Dylan, Bell, Dante, the Buster, they're the best young talents in Jamaica now. Yeah. In 5 years' time, they will be the national team. And in 5 years' time, Leon Bailey will be 28 and the captain of the national team. So if we look 5 years down the road and prepare someone who's going to be European experience with a Jamaican background with the qualifications, then it will be an opportunity to help. You know, I have a lot of say so because I manage Leon. Yeah. Can you imagine if what Travis would say he would have if he had 10 to 15 of the national team players? You know, including Tyreek working with. So that's the vision. And we're trying to, and by that time, I believe it or not, I've seen Tapa Whitmore making an effort to actually adopt the system. The team is, if you look, if you look, the team is playing more direct football than they've ever played before. Don't they, man?
Yes, they are. They are playing more direct football.
It's almost like they've been listening to
they listen
to the show.
What choice they have? If you don't listen, then you have a problem. Because if you don't listen, they're saying it anyway. See, they're going to say, "Oh well, you should have listened to Butler." But if you just do it, it can look as if you really weren't listening. You did it on your own, you know.
And Craig, I don't know if you notice how the second team, I call it the second team, the team that plays against Costa Rica. The ball movement was a bit quicker.
Of course.
Because what they do is they limit their touches on the ball. They don't touch the ball a lot, so they can move the ball more quickly. And players were more mobile. Running on and off the ball was very good.
Where the ball was being moved to Devon, it wasn't going side, back. It was going midfield, forward, midfield, forward.
And that's very good. But what I would like to see, what I would like to see more, what I would like to see more.
Mike was telling me, Mike, weren't you telling me that Mikael watched the game?
He said Jamaica were very, very good. He said there's no way they should have lost the game. He said they had a couple tricky plays, but they need to be a bit more clinical. He watched the full game. He was very impressed. He said they need to be more ruthless, you know, in the final third. But he was very, very impressed. He was very impressed.
By the way,
that's why we're waiting for him.
Jamaican passport yet?
I hear you, Devon. I hear you.
Yeah, that's why we're waiting for him.
Yeah, he's coming.
And Mike, if you don't know, in 2015, I was the one who tell Captain Burrell, take a look at him. And the coach, the German coach, Schaefer, take a look at him. I think this is one for Jamaica.
Do you remember what club he was at the time? Was he at Nottingham Forest or was he at West Ham? Do you remember?
He was at West Ham. He was at West Ham.
His first season at West Ham. Okay.
Yes, he was at West Ham.
That's good to know.
So and all the matches so far of the Gold Cup, or is he? I guess his feedback overall. What does he think of the team? He said he loved the last match that they played very well.
So I didn't know he had been watching games as strongly as been. It really surprised me, if I'm honest, Brandon. So I was asking him, you know, have you seen that Jamaica are qualifying? He said, yeah, I watched the whole Costa Rica game, and then he went into more detail than I can even explain now about the play doing. But he showed that he's taken a real interest, you know. It was for me. It was really good to hear that it wasn't forced upon him. He's taken his time out to get to know his future. and understand the way they play. And remember, Mikel Antonio is an experienced player. He's 30 years old, played in the Premier League for 6-7 seasons now. He already has ideas how he feels he can improve the team, which is great. So that's what experienced players and leaders do. They study the game and they think, how can I go and implement and add value to this team?
Exactly.
And Mike, there are words floating around that there's no central defender in CONCACAF wants to see him. He's too strong. But one thing, Craig, I want to see more is that we have players who can impose themselves in front of goal. I would like to see more crosses into the box instead of turning back the ball.
Exactly.
Yes.
Well,
I want to see.
Yeah, even Damien had a lot of or a few chances in the box, because just as a central defender, or he just went in there and
he went forward, which is what I've been saying. Remember, I've been saying he needs to go forward like Koulibaly. He's going up there and getting the headers.
Yeah,
and it's gonna happen. It's gonna come together. Especially with the qualifiers coming up. The Gold Cup is one thing, but with the qualifiers coming up, Mikel involved. The quality that's there. I like Corey Burke a lot.
So you guys, what country do you think can really challenge Jamaica for the Gold Cup? Out of the teams you've seen so far, which team scare you to a certain extent?
Well,
of course, the US.
It's just the usuals: Mexico, US. They've won, I think, like 8 out of 10 times the past 10 seasons. Canada's very strong. They don't have Davies right now. They don't have Jonathan David, who's they have a few players that can be challenging, but obviously the big dogs are going to be Mexico. Can they be Mexico? The thing about USA is they don't have. It's like the USA B team right now. They don't have most of the European players. This Sunday Jamaica plays USA, so that's going to be a big
Sunday
test.
or Monday.
Sunday.
And Craig, there's a team in transition that I like, Honduras. Yes, Honduras. I think I like Honduras. The way they play, they have a good system. The link up between the midfielders and the strikers, and they have good physical, imposing strikers that they will take you on one-on-one. They're so physical that it's hard to defend against them.
Yeah.
But I mean, when they come up against Damian and Liam Moore and Damian, I mean, for how many games have they played together now, Craig? 3? 4?
Maybe 3, 4.
And it seems like they were playing 5 years together.
I like Liam because he adds a little more gumption to the defense, a little more strength, a little more direct. Yeah. And it frees up Damian to go on those runs. The challenge I think we had was when Hector started in the midfield.
Especially in the Guadeloupe.
Correct me if I'm wrong, Mike, right? You know Michael Hector? You ever heard of him?
Yeah, I know him very, very, very well. I've tried to sign him many years ago when he was at Barnet before he moved to Chelsea and went on his loans. I know him very well.
The challenge that I have with Hector is that he plays the game very slow and he turns the ball back a lot. Yeah? Now, if you turn the ball back a lot, you're inviting risk. When you invite risk, something can happen. Second to that, the more chances you get going forward, especially if you're faster than everybody else, is the more chances you have to outscore your opponents. And that's what Jamaica needs to do, outscore their opponents. You don't need to be looking to try and win games 1-0 and 2-0 because it's not going to happen. Our defense is just not that strong. Yeah? So we should
defender. So they've been playing him in midfield, but he's a central defender.
They've been playing defensive midfield.
They're playing him in midfield. And Craig, if you look at Heck, is that he has such a good range, but why is he not using it more?
Well,
and that's what I'm worried about, because
it's about
he either go back or square.
I think that
instead of going forward
in the Premier League in England,
mm-hmm.
but it's really a challenge when you have 5 people up front that can probably run 100 meters in under 11 seconds,
Yeah.
and you're turning back the ball. It's a challenge. Speedy has not turned back the ball, and the team look differently. Devon Williams, the team has looked different. Tyreek is not turning it back anymore, and the team looks different. Bobby Reed as well. So I'm looking forward to more. And if you have, can you imagine even more now? You're bringing in Mikel Antonio later down the line, and he's standing up at center forward reading a comic strip because you're playing the ball around the back. Makes no sense, you know.
You won't allow that.
You got to lose him. You got to use him. You have to use him.
Yeah.
And someone asked a question. What did I think about if Leon is delivering the goods for the national team or not? The first game, I think the first goal was partially Leon's creation.
It was,
Yeah. And his creativity. And the second goal that Fleming scored, Leon had the assist on it. And you have to consider, he ran all the way from the right side, all the way over onto the left wing, took the ball, beat a couple defenders, and played it to Junior Fleming, who finished and did a great job scoring the goal. So, is he delivering? Is he getting the ball?
Getting the ball. In the Guadalupe match,
and this is a big problem. If you do not give the ball to an attacking player quickly, in time, if you give him, if you wait a fraction of a second and look backwards and then play the ball to him, he's gonna have 2 people on him, and he's gonna receive the ball in an undesirable position. You have to get the ball to the player early so the player can turn and take them on. If you look at even how Leverkusen play, they give him quickly or they don't give him at all. You know, and when he gets it, he can make his runs, he can take on the defenders. But 10 times out of 10, when Leon receives the ball playing for Jamaica, he's receiving it with 2 people on him, and they're blocking every lane. But at the same time, we should consider that when 2 or 3 people are marking him, it leaves 2 or 3 people open for us.
Open, yes.
Yeah. So it's just how the adaptation and how the coach manages the team.
Yeah. So speaking of Leon, I know it's already very late for Mike, so I don't want to have him on all night. But I wanted to ask him: Mike, have you crossed paths with Leon quite a bit? Have you spoken with him?
He's met Leon with several times with us, but you know me already.
Yeah, exactly. That's true. Well, wanted to ask, I guess, because there's been some. We'll give some backstory, but I think there's been some comments in the recently about maybe some of his character and how he treats or maybe coaches or anything like that. I guess from your perspective, Mike, how has Leon been, personally wise? Has he always been respectful? Have you ever seen anything or heard anything about?
In the school, Brandon, I deal with professional footballers. It's my life, and it's been my life for the last years. You get some great characters, and you get some really bad characters, and in the small interactions I've had with Leon, he's someone that, and I'm not saying that just because I'm on this video, because I'm a man that speaks from my heart, and I don't really care what people think about it, but he's someone that's extremely disciplined. He's someone that always puts football first. He's someone that has a great character. He's someone that will die for his team, and you can even sometimes see that in his performances. He's so selfless in his performances. The runs he makes, the assists he makes. Some of his teammates, I don't want to mention names, but they'll be in positions where they can square the ball to Leon or they can help the team, but because of selfishness, they're going to go for the goals. And Craig will also testify to this. Some of the clubs that Craig speaks to, I speak to, when they talk about Leon, that's the main thing they say. They talk about his selflessness, how he's willing to work for the team. Now, one that has that character on the pitch for everyone to see, how can they have bad attitude? It's impossible. It doesn't even make sense. So, these rumors, that come out, for me, I'm one of the first people to bat them away because it's nonsense. But the real decision makers in football know the truth, so that's why I'm on that, Brandon.
That's the thing, and you'll always have, the world of football can be a little bit difficult and corrupt, You'll have a guy who may be the manager. Can you imagine a guy who's a manager of a club? He is the coach.
Yeah.
He has an agent.
Yeah.
Even coaches have agents.
Yeah.
And that coach may have players that are on his team that is managed by his agent, by the same agent as the two of them. Now, naturally, the agent will push him to try and get his player to play, And that's one of the reasons why with my boys, I always said to them, listen, never be late, don't back talk, no disrespect, shake hands, do what you're supposed to do, be a professional, and do the right thing. And, the thing about it is this, Leon Bailey, he gets some holidays, right? And of course, you train for 11 and a half months out of the year, you're playing football in Europe in the cold, you're lonely, you want to spend time with your friends and you want to have a good time. Yeah. But he's an ambassador for the Special Olympics. He's an ambassador for food for the poor. He spearheads initiatives for back to school for children, for books. When COVID came out, everybody was locked away. He spearheaded getting food and groceries. He sent over like 3 million.
Yeah, I saw that.
Yeah? To get food for these people. Yes, I'm the one who go out there and I'm in the field doing it for him, but it couldn't have been done unless he wanted it done. Yeah? And when people talk about character and integrity, this is the type of player that you want on your team. And this is with professional football, they don't just make money from the players that play and that's transferring them. Yeah. They make money from the people that buy the tickets that want to go to the games. Yeah. People that want to wear the shirt. So if you don't have good character, it's a challenge. And sometimes coaches who would like to see their players get in will cast aspersions as to the character of a player to try and get him out. Because obviously it's going to be very difficult at this point, based off his performance, to really make a case for someone else. So you will say, oh, well, he has a bad mentality or something like that. And,
gentlemen, I have a training session at 9 o'clock.
All right.
It takes me half an hour to get there, so I have to run.
All right,
thank you, Coach.
Mike, I would like to make some connection with you. Craig can give you my my contact.
For sure.
And we will speak sometime. Thanks for having me, guys.
Yep,
Nice.
Craig, I'll talk to you soon. Yeah, man. All right, cool.
Great.
Yeah, Craig,
just to add on to what you were saying as well, and I think it's so important that people like you, Craig, continue to do what you do, because I think the lack of diversity, especially sometimes here in England, is also a problem like this. Now, I'll give an example. There's certain players that have come from a certain background, that are a certain way, like certain music, like certain clothes. And because this is who the person is, they will meet a coach from a different walk of life, or they'll meet someone in the boardroom from a different walk of life. And because this footballer is not like how that person has grown up, or that person has not seen a person like this, he will misconstrue that as bad attitude. He will say that because the guy walks in a certain way, he has bad body language. And that's not the case. This is just someone who's not the same as you. This is why it's so important that people within football are all diverse. People come from different walks of life, because that's the only way it's going to be fair. I've got so many young players that you take on loan to a different part of England. If they're not from South London, where it's very, very diverse, you take them to the north of England, where it's a different type of people. They walk into the change room, and because they walk a certain way, or because they talk a certain way, all of a sudden, oh, he's got bad attitude. He's got bad body language. And I have to educate the boys and say, listen, when you go there, you have to play the game, but it's wrong. It shouldn't be like that yourself. Football should do the talking. So I think Leon's example, I'm not saying it's the same, but all of this lack of diversity, lack of people understanding different people from different walks of life is a problem in football. And this is something when I go and have my talks and I speak at football clubs, Brandon, I make a big deal of it, because it's not fair, and people lose contracts and people lose careers because of stuff like this. And I understand why Craig is so defendant on his clients on stuff like that, because you have to be, and they can be lost without that. Yeah. Does that make sense, Brandon, what I just said there?
No, yeah, it does. It's funny because Craig says every week on the show, we had one of his players here. I mean, it's all about professionalism, and he tries to drill it into the players. You stand up straight and speak. Project your voice and speak respectfully. And even earlier today, the advice to respond to some of the racism that could happen is, ignore it, don't let it get to you, and answer on the pitch, right? So it's funny to hear any type of criticism come out for any of the players because it's not what they're trained at Phoenix, right? That's how it is.
No, for sure.
Sorry to cut you, Craig. Yeah, but it's good because not everyone has that training. So if you haven't had someone teaching you this from a young age, and then you go into a football club and all this is happening to you as a young man, how do you deal with it? So, it's great. It's great that you have that foresight and you've been around the block enough to help these boys.
Yeah, I think it's very important, but the truth of it is what we need to do now is to look at how to ensure that Leon continues to grow.
Yeah.
And to as you've noticed, he never responds. Never. That's my job and your job, Mike. Our job is to respond and to deal with the criticisms and to throw the proofs of it. One of the good things I can tell you is that Leon was coached by Peter Mars at Genk, Dimitri de Conde at Genk, Peter Boss at Leverkusen, and none of them will ever say anything negative about the player. In fact, I remember when we were to leave Genk, Dimi was so upset. He didn't speak to me for 6 months. He was so upset he didn't want him to go.
Yeah.
But it was personal.
Yeah.
It had nothing to do with what was at the time in Leon or even the club's best interest.
Yeah.
Football-wise.
Yeah.
He just loved Leon and wanted him to stay longer. Because he's had him. We met Dimi when Leon was 15. And Dimi was the under-17 coach, Dimitri de Conde, at Genk.
Yeah.
And we have a running joke in our mind.
What's that?
Dimitri believes that Leon is a better number 9 than he's a winger. And I believe he's a better winger. But when Dimi signed him for the first team, he put him as a winger, not me. So I keep saying, hey, what about your position? When you're going to call up your number 9?
Yeah.
What he's really good at is movement over 3 or 4 steps. So the angles to receive the ball, draw the player, run into the space. He's really good at that as a number 9. People don't know that.
Yeah.
But again, he's so talented and with pace and skill going forward.
Yeah. So you mentioned about his growth, and obviously everybody here is wondering also part of the title is about possible transfer this year. So did you have an update? Obviously in the news, everyone's talking about Villa, which is public.
Aston Villa.
Yeah. What's your
Well, the fact of it is that Leon is in his second to last year. And it's at this time in the year of his contract.
Yeah.
It's at this time of the year of the contracts where the home club looks at cashing in. Because if they wait too long, if you do the math, if they wait till next year, then we could just sit down and say, okay, well, we'll just run out the contract. And when Leon does a transfer for 30 million and he's out of contract, we get all the money.
Yeah.
So Leverkusen would lose their money. So it's an intelligent decision to look at whatever options may come now and to see where he can go, because this was really his best ever season at Leverkusen. And he's matured. Having little Leo has really done something to him.
Yeah.
He's become more robust on the field, more determined. He's eating better. He's focused. He's going to sleep. He's not out partying all the time. He's really focused and family man. So the opportunity to move, it's there. Offers are coming in. Leverkusen is also speaking with them. So we don't know what could happen, but right now we continue to be loyal to Leverkusen because that's who he works for. That's who gives him his paycheck. And looking at the potential for what may happen in the future. But what I can tell you is that there's been a lot of buzz right now.
So Mike, are you hearing the same buzz about Leon in your inner circles and interest?
Yeah, so my circles are the same as Craig's circles. So everything he said, I literally did. So I have nothing to add or nothing to take away from what he said. You know, we're all privy to the same conversations. You know, Craig's heading it, but yeah, everything he said is literally to the T of what's happening. It's going to be an interesting few weeks, and hopefully it's a positive few weeks.
Yeah.
What is funny is that the transfer window is the transfer, even though it's COVID time and the pandemic, it's really picked up.
Yeah.
People are moving. People are
it's true.
are transferring. Money is being made. Young players are getting opportunities. So
we have somebody asking who's Leon Bailey's agent. Do you know who that might be, Craig? Who Bailey's agent is? Someone's asking.
Who asked that? Which planet that man come from?
Well, he just responded to you, so there you go. There you go. Obviously, there's a lot of with everything there's things confidential that can't be disclosed.
Yeah, we can't really say that, but all we can say is that there's movement. There's a lot of traction and a lot of opportunity, and we will see what happens.
Yeah. So I guess
I am, just so you know, I am Leon's agent. Mike is our partner with USM, and they represent him as well. So we both can speak. At the end of the day, you have to understand that as life grows, the academy grows, the players grow. I am one man, and I cannot do the job completely myself. Mike has been. He also has other players. So his main player is Mikel, so he attends to him a lot more. Leon is my main player. If he needs a fork, I'm going to get it. So, but we work together to form strategic alliances. Where, for example, Mikel needed his passport, Jamaican passport, and needs some strength and pressure here. I worked on it hard. Hey, has he received it yet?
It's on its way. I spoke to the Pika people, number you gave me, so it's on his way. So he should receive it. Thanks for
excellent. So he can help. I can help him here with Mikel. He helps me there with Leon, and we all benefit. From a commercial standpoint, you really want to also start to cash in, so the player can get endorsements and ambassadorships and sponsorships. So he's in England. So if I'm stupid, I will say, okay, well, I'll just be Leon's agent and sit in Jamaica, and that's where all the commercial work is. Or I can say, let me partner with someone who first they have to understand me, Phoenix, what the whole movement was about. Who can then turn around and create opportunities for Leon in commercial as well as transfers. If you ask me about any club in Jamaica or about our culture, about how business is done here, I can tell you. If a policeman pull you over on the road and say, "Hey, Mr. Butler is my friend," and they will pick up the phone and call me and say, "Hey, Craig, you know this guy? Give him a chance." I say, "Yeah, man." It's the same.
I should call you the other day.
You get the trouble.
I got one of my headlights was out, so a soldier stopped me.
A soldier?
A soldier. Well, it was a checkpoint.
Oh,
Spanish Town. And it's how it is here. But he said he wasn't going to do anything, but him and his buddies wanted some juice and things like that. So I had to help him. But
the key is, as I said, Mike has that influence and that range there. He can see all the smaller clubs. Leon would have transferred anyway when the time is right. But can we increase the value of the transfer? Can we get more knowledge of the clubs that he's going to be looking at? Where would he fit in better? How does this work for the rest of the academy players? How can Mike and his team help our players to get more opportunities, more exposure, more games? And then bringing that together and also provide me with some balance, because I tend to be 100% Phoenix and protecting Phoenix and protecting Leon. And sometimes you have to have someone on the other side that can say this devil's advocate. Look about this, look at this, you know, or don't say this. Because if you say them,
so Mike, how's it?
How come you laugh?
Oh my God. You know, Brandon, it's so good he's able to say this to you because I've never heard him say that to me, you know, but I'm so good I'm hearing it. I'm so good. Thank you, Craig.
So how's the process been so far? You know, these I guess talks and you know how you've been how's it been working with Craig and you know I guess I don't want to say you know speaking to all these clubs. You know, has it been a smooth process or are these processes always you know hit or miss depending on who you're speaking with?
I think to answer the first part about working with Craig, Craig is he's a very straightforward person. You know, he's not complicated. He's not complicated. So it's in that sense, it's easy. I've learned that when I say A, make sure my A is A. When I say B, make sure my B is B. And once I've had understanding of Craig, there's no blurry lines. It's black and it's white. So I think working with Craig is not a problem for me at all. I prefer this. Great. We have our disagreements. You know, very strong on his thoughts. I'm very strong on my thoughts, but we come to the reasonable solution. So that's fine. And the latter, Brandon, for me, this window has been very, very challenging. Here in England, there's usually the most transactions in the whole of Europe, but this year is very, very slow. In Germany, the second biggest. France, back in finance because of a problem with television rights. Spain, you can see Barcelona trying to sell all of their players. You know, I read a statistic in England. There's 2,025 players out of contract. It's the biggest figure ever in history. These are 2,000 professional players with no job. So the industry is challenging at the moment, but players, luckily like Leon, that have value, they're always going to move. The biggest change I've seen is in payment terms. Now, when I say payment terms, if a player is worth 10 million, for example, and you're a Premier League club buying from a Championship club, which is a division lower, usually the Premier League club will say, here's your 10 million, take it, use it to go and buy some players in the summer. Now, because of lack of money, restrictions, payment terms are becoming a big problem. If you're going to charge 10 million, the club buying are going to say, look, we're going to give you 4 million now. We're going to give you 4 million at the end of 2022, and we're going to give you 2 million at the end of 2023. But the problem with that is the club that you're buying, they need this money to buy a new player. So this is the reason why transfers are becoming difficult. And this is, again, why the reasons why so many transfers will happen late in the window, because all of these games will have to stop because you're going to have to do business. That's the biggest difference from this window compared to others is the payment terms. But, you know, we'll get there where I'd like to think I'm an experienced agent in around the time. So, yeah, what will be will be.
Does that create a, because it's very interesting, does that create a ripple effect where now, you know, this club is offering, like you mentioned, staggered payments over the course of a few years. So now that club they're paying has to offer staggered payments to another club and then so on. Yeah. Is that what's happening right now?
Effect. It's a big domino effect. And you'll see when a big transaction happens similar to Jadon Sancho, then you'll see players in that position, all of a sudden they're shifting. You know, if a right back moves for big money, all of a sudden you'll see right backs across Europe shifting and moving.
Wow.
Real domino effect. And yeah, people are not in the industry, don't usually see it, but it is the case. Yeah.
Well, I know it's I know late nights are probably normal now in this time of the year. Are you okay to stay on, or do you have to head out?
Wait, let me make you meet some guys.
Sure. Sure. Is the work nonstop during these transfer windows? You're always, you know, checking everything.
Never usually this late, to be honest. It's 1:30 on a Friday night, so I never usually work this late. But it's pretty nonstop.
You're in big trouble, Mike.
Scouts are working late.
Come in there. Come in. Guess who's here? Brian, you're bringing your chairs. Come on.
Is that everybody's coming?
Yeah, everybody can come say hi.
Okay, I'll step off a second.
This is your African brother from the motherland, man.
Yes, bro. Where are you from?
Nigeria.
How far?
I did on your side.
I did. Hey, Craig, you don't understand that. That's West African slang there, you know. West African slang.
Just like well,
It's good. And this is, you remember Duvey?
Yes, I remember you. How are
Back?
who's the one at the back? I can't see.
That's Duvey. Oh, that's Jono. You never met Jono.
Okay.
Jono is a left winger and left back. Pretty good.
How are you? Hey?
This is our partner in England, Mike Abiason.
Okay. Big up.
Yeah.
Doobie, how are you? Let me see you. Come closer. Let me see you since December. Look here, you're getting bigger.
Yeah, his growth has gotten a lot bigger.
You're eating good?
Yeah.
That's good, man. Good to see you again. We're gonna see you soon as well. Definitely.
There's Shoe Shine in the background. You see him looking through. You never met Shoe Shine, right?
Nah, never met him.
Shoe Shine, come say hi to me, man. This is Shoe Shine. Soon Shine, but we call him Shoe Shine, right? So
where are you, Shoe? Where is he?
Hello, good evening. How you doing?
How are you, bro? You okay? Craig,
Hello,
and
good
Leo
evening.
very, very highly of you. They both speak very highly of you. So I want to see the action live and direct for myself one day. Yeah.
Yeah, for sure.
well, they all have their visas, so they're all going to England, so you'll see them. This is you met him? You never met him. You weren't there, huh?
No.
You know what happened? All of these guys weren't there. They weren't at the camp at the time when you came.
Why
They were
not?
the ones. This is
Okay.
an attacking midfielder. His nickname is Isco.
Disco.
Isco.
How do you lot come up with all these nicknames? I don't understand.
Isco. He plays like Isco. You know, Isco that played for Real Madrid.
Oh, Isco. I thought you said disco, as in he likes to dance in the disco. Okay, I get it.
So you know, I wouldn't be surprised if that was some nickname.
Yeah, Jamaica, and everybody have a nickname. You know? His name is Ayo, huh? But
Nice.
his name comes with, like, it sounds like a nickname already, so we're not used to it. So just name him Ayo. Yeah, so we're just here. They arrived. I guess we were supposed to do like a games night, but I canceled it. But they didn't, so they arrived. So we're just do it anyway and cook some food and thing. Chill out. We have a game tomorrow in Montego Bay against another academy down there. So we're gonna head out in the morning.
Nice, man. Nice. Good to see you boys again, and good to meet you new ones as well. And I look forward to seeing you here in Europe.
Yeah, thank you very much. I appreciate it.
Well, it's very late on their side. Mike.
Yeah, so Mike, we'll let you go because I know it's late. Thanks for staying up with us. Is there anything touched on that we haven't touched on that Mike needs to know about or be involved in?
I think we covered everything that we spoke about. Yeah. Is there any last words from you, Mike? Anything you want to say to the audience?
Mike, you need to watch Tyreek's game. You need to watch the last game that Tyreek played in. The last Jamaica game. He played well, huh?
I'm gonna watch the highlights, but I'm really gonna watch the USA game. I'm gonna sit down and make some time. But
I'm not sure if he's gonna feature because Bobby Reed is back. Okay. You know, they might get a few minutes. But if you have, just go on YouTube and take a little look at the Jamaica Costa Rica game.
And the match will be at 9 p.m. Jamaica time, so it's gonna be very late.
Very late for you? No, 9, 10, 3 o'clock in the morning.
3 o'clock in the morning. But yeah, Mike, any last words you want to mention to the audience?
No, just it was great to speak to you guys again. Keep listening, keep sharing the knowledge, Craig, and great to see you boys at Phoenix as well, and Brandon also good to hear from you as well again. So that's all.
All right, bro. One love.
Thanks, Mike.
Good job. All right, so what are we gonna do, guys?
Wrap
up.
Yeah, I think.
Take some questions from the audience. Don't leave them all.
All right, yeah. Any so questions? Let's see here.
And all of you guys, I don't want it's a button for you, and I'm willing to take the questions. You guys need to make people do the thing. What? Like, subscribe.
Oh yeah, you have to like, subscribe, share. Yeah. Make sure you guys too have to. Everyone has to like and subscribe and everything.
Yeah, so we build it. Huh?
Yeah. All right, so let's see what people say. Is Isco from Mona? Are you from Mona, Isco?
Yeah, Isco is from Mona. Yeah.
Okay, this person
man.
might know you. One Brogot. Well, it's
One bro God know you, Isco.
yeah. We have Richie checking in. So hey, Richie. Want you on the show maybe next
Richie
time.
Roll, yeah, one Richie.
All right, let's see. Any questions?
Adam said hi. Adam Atherton, one of our players.
Yeah. What's up with Kamar? I guess Kamar Lawrence?
Kamar Lawrence. Yeah.
He actually, someone mentioned here, I saw it earlier, he trained today. He had no sign of injury.
Okay,
so.
great.
We have Gray just signed for Everton, Damari Gray.
Yeah. He was able to go on almost for nothing. Yeah.
Really?
Yeah, because his contract was kind of new.
I don't know if you can answer this, but is the rumors from the AC Milan true? Maybe a Bailey going to AC
Look, a lot of clubs are interested now. Very, very interested. It's going to be a very telling time. A lot of decisions to make.
Let's see. Damari Gray to JFF. Is he eligible to play for Jamaica?
I'm not sure. Damari.
Will Tyreek be on the move?
We're looking at the options. Anything else?
I think we're good. The match in Mobay tomorrow. Or sorry, is it tomorrow or is it Sunday? Tomorrow.
Tomorrow we have a match in Mobay.
Respect.
Under 19 and under 15. Coach, I think you should work on McGee's defensive play. He's just walking after he lost the ball, but led to the goal. I was disappointed with that. Yeah, but the truth of it is Maggie was 10 times worse than that before. He's really trying now and he's making an effort, and that like one slip up is what cost him. But at the same time there are other things that happened. Kamar Lawrence got injured right away, there, so he couldn't make the tackle. A one-on-one, the defender lost the duel. The ball was crossed. Nobody picked up the Ruiz in the box. Yeah, so he is a part of it, but he's not the.
Coach Porter said Fisher should have made a tackle too before the.
Yeah. So.
Do you still manage Hasselbank? I think we.
Hasselbank and us are very close. Gliafalo came through the academy. We're still looking at options for him, and we might be looking at moving him soon.
How can you get a player in the academy?
You'll have to come on a trial up at Mona High at 3:30. Any given day you can come. You have to follow the protocols, and we can give you a trial. We'll look at you if you're good enough, your discipline is good enough, then you can look at joining the academy. If you're not good enough, I'm going to be very honest with you and tell you the truth.
Yeah, same question by Man himself is here. So when are you going to do trials? So I guess you're saying just
Monday at 3:30 you can come at Mona High.
Mona High. There you go. Why isn't Martin Davis in La Liga?
In La Liga? Because he didn't get the opportunity yet, but he's performing, and with your performance, you'll rise. Yeah. Performance and dedication.
Can you stream some of your games? It's something we always talk about. We just need to get the logistics. We want to get that going. It's just
maybe we can stream some of the games.
Yeah. Is Juventus interested in Bailey? I've never heard first, but Craig said it. Numerous clubs. So we can't say too much about it. I would.
Let me explain the rules so you understand.
Yeah.
The agent or the player is supposed to actually talk to the selling club before something comes through, an offer is made The agent nor the player is supposed to really officially talk to the buying club until an offer is made directly to the selling club, and the selling club grants permission for you to speak and discuss personal terms. So whether or not I'm speaking or not speaking, there is no chance for me that I could actually say it publicly that I am. Yeah. So that's why you always hear us saying, no, we'll talk, we can't say that now, or no, it's not the time. It's just giving you an insight into, it's like if somebody's working at one company, you're working at Flow, But Digicel is interested in having you come and work for them. You can't be seen having lunch with Digicel CEO and said, yeah, man, I want to go to your company. Your company is great.
Yeah.
But you're working at Flow.
If you're under contract with Flow.
You're under contract with Flow. You have to show your loyalty and your respect and follow the process.
What are the odds he comes back to Jamaica for Premier League club here?
0.
0. Okay.
Oh, Leon?
Yeah, Leon.
0.
All right, so you can get that answer. So sorry, Arnett and Harborview. I don't think you'll be coming. But anyway, I think, Coach, when you say discipline, those that has anything to do with tall hair.
Yes.
Yeah.
It has more to do with grooming than tall hair. We have a Rasta in our academy, Zabir. Yeah? Zabir plays for George's Pepsi as well. He's probably the best groom player in the team. Teeth always brush, hair comb, hair neat, not just wild all over the place, neat, well groomed, hygiene proper, speaks properly, all those things. You have to understand. Even though a man should be able to, you're not supposed to judge a book by its cover. That's the rules. Don't judge a book by its cover, but everybody judges a book by its cover. Yeah. And first impressions always last. Yeah. So if you want to become a professional, you have to start practicing those things from now. So if someone is out there and he keeps coming with his hair ungroomed or long or some stupid style or whatever, it makes no sense because you're not going anywhere. You know, you can be a Rasta man and you're well groomed and you're well behaved and you take big steps. Zabi has been on tours with us to Europe already. He's a top midfielder. We love him.
Yeah. Yeah. So that's they always say dress for the job you want, not the one you have. That's always a big
yeah.
All right, let's see. We have more comments. Age group for tryouts. Is it any age?
Any age group.
Okay.
There's no come if you're over 22. It really doesn't make sense.
Yeah. I'm not sure who Gennaro's talking about, but I think he should work on his awareness as well. Know what's around him and coming at all time. He'll be invisible then. And he's Tyreek.
I think it's Tyreek he's talking about.
Yeah. When's your next camp to make it in Europe? Who's next? Who's next in your camp to make it in Europe? So yeah, next trip.
Dujon Whisper Richards.
That's exciting.
Dylan John. Jamani Bell. Dante Duncan.
You have a good it's broadcast like a broadcast voice.
Isco. Mario Sims.
Yeah.
Ayo. Xander Bicknell. Dovey Mitchell, Dante Peralto, Mikey Jr.
It's a lot.
Yeah.
You say Xander?
Yeah. Top right winger, Termite. Jade Clark. You know, we have some really top players. The top 15 players in Phoenix can play in any professional club. When you have a 13-year-old playing against a Premier League team, and he's dominating, piling them and doing all sorts of stuff, a 15-year-old blowing past the wing backs.
Yeah.
Come on. They must take it.
When is Tweety Bird going to take a...
Tweety's 7. He has another 10 years at least.
All right, well, I think that's pretty much it. Everyone's saying that you should comb the hair, I guess. Coach will comb it. Richard Atherton says.
Yeah, if you check my thing, if you don't comb, if you're not a Rasta and you don't comb your hair and you come to my training, and you have sooner or later you'll see me walking. I have a portable chair. I just walk it straight through the middle of it. That's me. You know, I grew up. I learned a lot of first world practices. People don't know this, but I went to Genk for 2 years on a practicum where I was coaching, learning, observing. Went to Ajax for about 6 months. Went to Standard Liège. I was the technical trainer at Trenton in Slovakia. I was the president of St. Andrews FC in Malta, and I also did the coaching as well. Did my badges in Malta as well, my coaching badges. I'm a FIFA intermediary with the British FA. So, yeah, I did my work. I learned my stuff.
Yeah.
And I used to play. As I said, see,
we just showed.
for those who don't never saw,
You missed it.
show you again. See, zoom in there. Zoom in. We have big ball. I hear that. See that? Look. Zoom in. Zoom in. Zoom in. See that? Where am I here? Zoom in. Wait, what?
Sorry.
See that second picture in?
Right there.
That's me. So the first one is the great Richard Potcover McDonald. The third one is Wayne Palmer. And the fourth one is Christopher Dias. They used to call him Belly. Yeah, down the bottom is Altamont Butler from Dunoon at the time, Rowan Headley, and I think Nick Zadie from Georges. So yeah, at the time, let me see what they said.
Oh, Zadie, he's from.
He played for Georges at the time.
Was he the one who actually passed during the accident? Was he one of them?
What accident?
No, okay, never mind.
No, years ago?
Yeah,
no, man, that is John, Killer Little John.
Okay.
See what they say? Let me see, read the chapter. They're speaking about JC. JC, 4 points from 3 matches. Began the season with an impressive win. They have labeled in recent matches, however, during 1-1 with both Kingston Technical High and St. Jacob. Star player Richard McDonald thrilled his supporters with 2 goals in the opening match, but he has gone on that cloud since. Twins Kit and Kirk Kennedy have been working hard in midfield. However, this is something that moves on. It's all about who I am, yeah? While Craig Butler remains fearless at centre half.
Nice.
See? Fearless.
He's fearless.
Is it?
Who wrote that article?
This was written by the Gleaner, October 15,
Elton Tucker?
by Elton Tucker, October 15, 1986. Yep, that's the year we went unbeaten.
JC.
Yep, and I was playing with one leg.
Really?
Yeah, my right knee was broken in about July. Everything went, so they put it in a cast at the time, Dr. Paul Wright, and I trained on my left foot for the whole 2 months.
Mm.
Just before the season started, I cut off the cast.
Yeah.
And just went and played. I never touched the ball with my right foot for the entire season.
Oh my God.
And I held
Fearless.
it. Yeah, held it for JC. I love my school, but I love my country more. So that's why I have to take the stand and stuff. There's a Coley. Do you think we'll see a next breakout star like Leon from Jamaica? Of course, and they're not hearing what I'm saying.
Yeah, Whisper Richards.
Whisper is the real deal,
Yeah.
And you have like Bell and Dante Duncan is a hell of a winger, rotten winger. You have Jacob Lazarus, who is also excellent. You have a youth named Theory Mills that once you get going is great. Termite. Yeah, we have talents. We have top talents. You have, even in the young group, you have Sean Layton. That kid is so good, he doesn't even play prep school because he said that the level is too low for him. We have the MVP of prep school, kid by the name Daniel Scarlett. They call him off-key, can kind of look off-key. We have the MVP of primary school, Zinodine. We have the top scorer of prep school and champion, Skylar McFarlane. You know, we have a really strong group of young players that even below this group is so talented. Yesterday we played not ever so often we have a 6-a-side tournament, right? Everybody play against everybody, and the young group have their little crew. So you have like the under 14 with Skylar and the little like this, Skylar, Daniel, Sean, and that crew, right? They beat everybody on the pitch. That little team beat the professional, beat the the elite,
Wow.
and everybody, and they're laughing at them, you know, because they know how to move the ball because they're small, so they can't. It's no physical.
They have more,
tack,
they have more like finesse and more.
Yeah. And they're tick movements, and when they tackle, it's like a swarm. 10 of them go down on you know.
There's some people asking about Daly, Ronaldinho Daly.
Yeah, Ronaldinho. Who's asking about it? What asked?
There's two people, one Bro God and All Stars FC Gaming.
Ronaldinho Daly is not something I really want to talk about. Just put it this way: Phoenix leave no man behind. Yeah, don't want to talk about it. Hope he gets better soon, and Phoenix leave no man behind. We'll always love him, and we'll always be there for him.
We have, you know who Stephen Francis is? He says, "Good evening, Mrs. Butler. Thanks for." I think that's. Do you know who that is, Stephen Francis?
Who is it? Give it my nephew, Tuggy Hill. Okay, no problem. You're welcome.
All right, I think we're good. Yeah, I think. Do you remember O'Dane Stoner?
Yes, remember O'Dane Stoner very well. O'Dane Stoner was a player with Phoenix as well for many years.
Yeah.
Chose a different path, but not everybody that becomes a Phoenix is going to become a professional footballer.
Yeah.
Some become police, some become lawyers, some become Indian chief. You know, but the key is the values that are taught from football and from the academy will help you in life. Yeah. That brotherhood, that loyalty will always be there.
And you always have people that they get back to.
Yeah. Dominic James was my cousin.
Dominic Jones.
He said Jones, but it's really James.
Oh, James.
Here's Dominic James. This is about the core Phoenix, the originals, huh? Can you see it? There's Dominic James over here on the right there. There's Kyle, Leon, Kevon Atkinson, Tyree, yeah, and that's the head of NCB. He had given us some funds to support us at the time, and went and won the competition and carried the game ball back to him, signed by everybody, you know.
Nice.
Yeah, so we teach those values from young. So hopefully they will stick. Not everybody stick to. Some waver. Yeah. Some go down the wrong path. But deep down inside of them, they know what is right and what is wrong. And eventually they go back onto the right path.
Right, Raheem Nelson says he was my cousin and I played for you guys when I was in Jamaica.
Oh, nice, Raheem.
And again, man himself, Craig said Mona 3:30 Monday. If you want to try out, just show up and then.
We'll see. But if you show up with yourself ungroomed and just come with like a hype thing, it's not gonna work. Discipline, unity.
Yeah, I mean, if you watch the show every week, you'll know what kind of player Craig's looking for.
All right.
I think great show today. 120. I think there were like 150 people at one point during the. Some of the conversation with Mike. Please keep sharing, subscribing. We hit 1,000 subscribers. Like I said, we're going to be bringing a microphone to hopefully sound better. And please just keep sharing, supporting. We appreciate it.
So hold on. So you guys don't like our set? You don't like the set? It look cool in there. You don't like our?
Who said that?
Room. No, I'm just showing you.
Oh. No, I don't. No one comments on that.
No one comments on our plate. Come on, guys.
You notice every week we're in a different spot.
Yeah, we're trying to make it look nice for you. You don't even, you see that picture back there in the back? That's me at Real Madrid, dude. Come on.
There's a Ronaldo jersey.
Yeah, there's Ronaldo in here. There's Messi in here. There's Arjen Robben over there. There's Diego Costa over there.
Let's give it a quick 360.
We can do a 360? All right, let's go. This is my wall of top guys, you know. You have the head of Bayern Munich over there, Rummenigge. We have Rudi Völler, top man from Leverkusen. We have George Mendes. We have all of those guys.
You have, let's change it. Lukaku's.
Lukaku's dad is over there, over the other corner. Roger Lukaku. On the ground over there, all the jerseys of players that we built and sent them over into Europe. There's Cristiano Ronaldo's jersey. There's Griezmann jersey over there.
Yeah, you got a Waterhouse jersey.
The Waterhouse jersey. Yeah. Have to support Bruce McDonald, a big top man at the Waterhouse.
There's a signed Ronaldo.
Yeah, there's signed Ronaldo. There's Kyle's jersey, the first jersey ever wore for Jamaica in the under 23s. Leon's first jersey when he signed with Bayer Leverkusen. Marco Reus, all a Real Madrid top man them. Yeah, man, we do a thing. Messi up in the corner up there, so yeah, we do our thing. We've done our.
And there's a couple more in the background, but we won't take you there.
Yeah, we'll take you back there. There's Robin. There's Francesco Totti. There's another Ronaldo national team jersey that though. Kyle's jersey, Neymar's jersey up there in the corner. Kevin De Bruyne national team jersey. Cruz. Yeah, and guess what? Leon is bringing home my Leopoldo Hasselbank Suriname jersey for me.
I saw that picture.
Yeah, Gleo, I'm looking forward to my jersey. I'm so proud of you. Yeah, can you imagine? 2 kids I developed together. Yeah. One is the all-time leading goal scorer for Suriname.
Yeah.
And the other is a top player at the Jamaican national team.
Yeah.
Really proud.
That's history.
Yeah, really proud.
Is the Messi signed? Is the Messi signed?
Yeah, man, all of them signed.
Yeah.
All of them.
All right, guys.
We're gone.
Give you a next 2 hours.
Please do me a favor. All of you that come on, share it, like it, and tell other people to join up on it.
Yeah. Every Friday, let them know. Every Friday on this.
Eventually, I'm going to monetize this channel.
Yeah.
And 50% of the money that we make off of it is going to go back to helping kids to go to the academy, buy boots and all of those things.
That's good.
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
Peace out. Till we see you again next week.
Thanks, guys.
And I make it through. I've been the sniffles, but I make it through.
Yeah. And good luck, Jamaica.
Jamaica, mash it up Sunday.
Yeah.
Mash it up. I know they're going to do well. All right, guys. Bye.